Okay, welcome everybody. Today a quick challenge for myself, brightening up these headphones. And to be honest, I've tried several times and I'm really not really happy with the result. Simply because, there are a lot going on here with many different elements in these headphones that are hard to satisfy with just a few lights. For example, when you get decent lighting on one part, another part looks way off, and vice versa. When you focus on achieving good lighting for one section, another becomes a weak point. So what I'm trying to do here is to use light linking to create separate lighting for each of these parts. Okay, let's start. First, let's add our first light and see what we get. I'll try lightening this part, aiming for a kind of rim effect, where all these small details on the leather are quite defined. And I think this particular angle works quite well. Let's actually turn off viewport denoising because it's smoothing out the textures, so we can't see what we should see. Okay, for this light I'm actually quite satisfied with how it looks for now, so I'll leave it as it is. Next, I'll add a second light to brighten up this area. As you can see, there is not much light on the target area, but at the same time other parts of the headphones are getting too much light. Let's link this light to the target area by hitting L, and now the light is only affecting that specific part. Let's adjust the light to find a good distribution, maybe move it a bit closer, something like that. Okay, for the third light, I'll focus on another part. Let's brighten up this metal area. We'll link the light to that specific section. This light only affects the metal part. Maybe switch to orbit mode to fine-tune the light position. I want to bring out a bit of the anisotropic effect on the metal. So, something like that. Let's adjust the brightness. Okay, the next light. I'll link it to another part, hit L, and position it behind, or maybe I should say below the object for a rim effect. I'll add another light for the bottom area to brighten that part a little. I think that works fine. Okay, there is a dark spot here that needs to be addressed. So, another light, I'll link the light and manually position it to highlight the shape of the headphones. Maybe from this side. Okay, it seems better. Let's add another light and aim for rim effect, linking it to the appropriate part. If you want to see the light's effect in isolation, just hit Shift H and you see how it works. Then Shift H another time to revert the isolation. Okay, I don't like this very dark spot here, so I'll add another light, link it to the part and decrease the brightness slightly, even more, to just reveal more detail. Maybe this part needs attention too. Let's add a light. Okay, I'm going a bit overboard with the light linking here, but it's just for demonstration purposes. I'll switch to direct mode and decrease the brightness significantly, just to brighten up the dark spot a little. Shift H to isolate the light. Now you can see what I'm talking about, just a little bit of brightness. Okay, maybe another part needs more light, so let's link another light and isolate it and see what's happening. Okay, something like that. Now let's render and see what we got. Apologies for the wait, as I'm rendering on my laptop, which is not super fast. Okay, I'll probably should rewind forward this part for you. Okay, now we're back to our view. Look at that crazy lighting setup. Just a ridiculous number of lights, each serving its own purpose. Of course, it's probably overkill, but it's for the sake of demonstrating the light linking feature, which has been in Blender for about a year. But to be honest, I only started using it extensively after implementing the light linking shortcut into the Light Wrangler add-on. It's actually quite fun to play around. Hit L and there you go. You can also create shadow linking with Shift L, but that's a topic for another day. Let's get back to our rendering and see what we've got. Something like that. I'm not sure how well it turned out, but I think it's okay. That's one of the great things about 3D rendering compared to traditional photography. You have much more flexibility. But when you have, at the same time, when you have too many options, it can become hard to choose. So this render is the perfect example of of the overkill. So yeah, there needs to be a limit to our desires and possibilities, or we might lose our focus. Sometimes limitations actually fuel creativity. So what do we have here? Is it good? Is it bad? You decide. We could make a few tweaks, but to be honest, I'm not really satisfied with the result. So when I don't like something, I tend to start from scratch. So this video's main purpose is just to demonstrate the light linking feature in Light Wrangler, so don't hesitate to check it out. It'll help me continue developing the tool, and as my goal is to make it the ultimate solution for lighting in Blender. Though that's still a bit distant, but I think we'll get there. And that's the result of our crazy lighting setup. Thank you for your attention and see you in the next one.